Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We welcome you inside the Toronto Rock Athletic Centre here on the blue turf for Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Futures action. This in the East Division between the Orangeville Northmen, who are on the visitors' bench working left to right, and the Whitby Warriors in the blue uniforms. Quickly cutting through to the net and stepping into the crease, Trey Deer there for Orangeville. As I'm Matthew Carrick in alongside the JVI Sports Network. And as back the other way, a shot. Save made by Caleb Martin. It was Zach Richards in net for the 12-4 win over Mimico earlier this afternoon. And for Whitby, an 11-10 loss to Peterborough, as they had Ethan Corby in net for that game this afternoon. Here's Liam Matthews from the outside. A low shot there, down in the butterfly. Ethan Harwood getting the start for Orangeville. Pardon me, Ethan Harwood for Whitby. Caleb Martin for Orangeville as Jaden Chipara gets knocked down. Cody Coulson. A number of these players are playing in the OJLL tournament as younger players. A chance to get some eyes on the future of the game as the shot there finds the back of the net. Collian Marquise. Getting Orangeville on the board. A screen there, and then just a sidearm shot that beats the netminder. Collian Marquise up 1-0 now, him and Orangeville. We're playing 15-minute periods. We'll do 3 of those, as we have all tournament long for the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. And of that, we've played a minute and a half, and we're tied in that minute and a half. This time, Whitby with the goal as Jack Oldman had it stolen there. Played by Lucas Littlejohn, and they go back into the middle. And just a rip of a shot there from Gabriel Soroketti to tie this game at 1 in the early stages. If you're looking for Oakville in Six Nations, that's over on the red turf. It's located on our second JVI channel. Be sure you're subscribed to both. JVI Sports Network, this main one, and JVI Sports Network Channel 2. There's a playlist located here if you're looking for that other game. We'll also be on air at 9 p.m. from both turfs if you're interested in checking out more juniors action. Shot there just squeaks through Caleb Martin. And a second one on the board here now for Whitby. Faking the pick and roll, they end up going in behind, and another screen shot there and a quick rebound. As it bounces back out, I believe that's Lucas Littlejohn in front of the net. So Littlejohn and Soroketti with a pair now. Here's Littlejohn again. Trying to extend this run as we've played 2.5 minutes here in the opening period. Flip the ball there, came in Diabo. Faking it to Deer, goes to the outside as Collian Marquise collides with his man. Down the floor, here's Deer. That will be over and back as it's touched right in front of that Oakville bench. With Bruce Codd coaching Orangeville. Pass to the far side, Michael Anderson. Swinging it back for Jack Budway. Budway up top, here's a shot, Soroketti. And down again was Caleb Martin. Looked like he had a bit of trouble with it there. And still looking for it. It goes loose to the corner. Down goes an Orangeville player. A huge whack that echoed through the floor as Deer now will pass for Marquise, who goes behind his back as they await the arrival of the extra attacker. Goaltender out here for Orangeville on the delayed penalty call. Out to the outside, trying to shovel it into the middle. Wide of the mark, Carter Moran will chase this all the way back in over center, and the slashing call coming here to Whitby. It's actually going to be a high stick against Ty Taylor with almost 4 minutes gone here in the first period. Trey Deer up top for the power play now for Orangeville. Cross floor screen there as the ball is returned as they work east-west does the Northmen. Deer again, a low shot from Liam Matthews, and standing in is Ethan Harwood. First real test for him since that goal was scored in the opening minute. 30 seconds gone on the Whitby penalty. As Cayman Diabo fakes like he's got it up over center. He left for Colin Marquise though. Diabo into the corner. Deer up top. Now on the near side, Colin Jennings. Back for Marquise and Diabo again. Marquise behind his back. Diabo a bounce shot. They reset the shot clock. I thought that was in front of Harwood and up in the screen, and Ryan McMichael agrees, I think. Tends to agree with me a lot, actually. Does the Whitby coach. As this one bounces out of the stick of Jennings as he was hit right on the crease. Up for Jack Oldman. Shot there, down is Martin, and he'll make the save. It's played up for Braden Kruger. And now Trey Deer again. Taking top spot, Liam Matthews. Off to his left for Marquise. Marquise in the corner. Deer up top, low shot. Save made by Harwood. Penalty about to expire, only 5 seconds left. Ball rolled up towards center where Max McPherson will leave it for Oldman. Fresh changes coming as we go back 5-on-5. Jack Budway up top for Michael Anderson. Anderson lets a rip from high go. Rebound straight into the stick of the Orangeville defender. That was played up for Colton Barnett. That shot off Hardwood. Playing back for Ryan Olin. Michael Anderson up top to his right. Looking for help. They find it in Ty Taylor. He absorbs a hit, faking the give and go, takes it himself off the crease. And then the celly into the glass as Whitby takes a 3-1 lead. Good fake here, working around his screen. Opening the fake pass, just opens the lane from that last defender. And look at the finish and then the celebration after the fact. As Whitby up by 2 here with 8:15 left to go. In our first period. Ty Taylor, Gabriel Soroketti, Lucas Littlejohn for Whitby right now. And just Trey Deer. I had Deer officially Marquise on the game sheet as racing in and almost in the left side of the foot of Ethan Harwood was Colm Barnett. Another player who got a couple games in over the last couple weekends. Reminder that the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League semifinals comes your way tomorrow afternoon. 3 and 5 from here on the blue turf. We'll have that for you on the JVI Sports Network as well as all 4 futures games following that, and both at 7 and 9. Marquise accepts the pass and then absorbs a hit from McPherson. Playing to the far side, Cayman Diabo. Turns it back for Matthews. Liam Matthews outside, Diabo. Bit of a short release on that shot as it bounces. Backing up over center for John Wheeler. Wheeler to the captain, Jack Oldman. That bounces off a stick in front. And Colm Barnett will bring it back into the attacking zone for Orangeville, who trail 3-1 here, closing in on 6 minutes left to go in the first. Down to the crease, jumping. And a low shot, saved by Harwood. Delayed penalty coming here as Harwood takes off. For the bench, extra attacker is on. Some confusion at the bench. I was counting bodies, but there was just the 6 over there at the bench. Played back for Anderson. 5 in the shot clock. They go behind the net. Played back here, and that one hits off the stick of Colin McKinnon, I believe. As Little John took the shot and will get the slashing call here against Cayman Diabo of the Orangeville Northmen. So 5:32 left to play here in the first period. A reminder, if you're looking for Oakville Six Nations, it looks like they're 3-1 Oakville over in the West Division on the red floor. Lance Wynn over on JVI Sports Network Channel 2. Coming up next here on this floor, Burlington and Kitchener-Waterloo, and Toronto Mimico over on the other side. Again, this in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Futures Division. Some of the younger players. Ball up top, shot straight down the middle by Budway, and a back in call here against Orangeville is Jaden Chaparra. Picked it up to the left of his netminder. Budway. It eluded Anderson, but only for a second, as now Budway has it back. Off to his left-hand side. A couple players there. It's Little John with the catch and the quick shot as Martin makes the save. Hit coming at center, and that's enough. To beat the 8 count, and it's in the back of the net the other way as Whitby continues to roll here. The power play goal puts them up 4-1. Quick restart. Nobody finds Little John. Back in behind, you can see Nolan shot there with the outlets. Already a pair in the game for Little John. This one here on the power play. giving Whitby a 4-1 lead with about 4 minutes left to go here in the first. Jake Darlison now taking top spot. That one a crease violation as they play back for Colin McKinnon. Holden Marquise. In the corner, Marquise still with it. Back for Diabo. Excuse me, that's Deere, who spins back. Deere with the shot. And down was Harwood with only one on the shot clock. And it will be extended as Trey Deere races back to center. Far side, Marquise fell as he was shooting. Harwood there to make the save. And then the Orangeville player knocked down. We get the interference call. And another 30 seconds here for the Northmen. Roughly 3 to go in the first. Chance here for Orangeville. Probably their best of the game. A lot of tired defenders out there for Whitby. Bit of a stumble and a double clutch from Cohen Jennings before that shot was taken. But the save made by Harwood. And now Whitby back the other way, and they can get some tired bodies off the floor. Including one who goes straight to the trainer, may have blocked that shot. Try and pick up a number over there, but hard shot goes off the end boards late in the clock. Picked up by Orangeville. It's Nick Baffia. Baffia all alone. Now gets help from Liam Matthews. Matthews waiting for the play to set up. It's Marquise to the outside, and a moving screen called there as Sam Parent was too heavy into his man. 2-minute warning here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. On the red side in the East Division of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Futures. Low shot there. Littlejohn making a bid for a first period hat trick. Rings it off the post as it comes all the way back to center, and he will indeed get a reset. Littlejohn again. Nobody up top, out of the reach as well of Ty Taylor, who has a goal in this game. Breakaway coming here for Cole Barnett. Barnett stumbles and shoots as the defense came hustling off that Whitby bench, including Nolan Schott. And we get a scrum. How did this start? Off to the right of Ethan Harwood. And a scrap as shot. And Colm Barnett. This is Barnett for Orangeville. And Nolan Schott for Whitby. Schott wants the takedown as they're definitely gassed from a spirited tilt. Looked like play had gone the other way. And unfortunately, we won't be able to see what started that. With 1:22 left to go, I assume it's just going to be 5 in a game, each for fighting for Colm Barnett and Nolan Schott. But we talked about this last week in the OJLL portion of the season. Not necessarily something you want to be doing, risking injury in such a condensed schedule. Again, these teams playing their second game of the day, both of them, with 2 more to go tomorrow before we head towards what is a semifinal and final on Sunday that you can see here on the JVI Sports Network. Whitby couldn't get a shot away as it's picked up by Elijah Edwards. He'll put the swim move on Jack Budway and then get taken hard into the corner. Little John in there as well. Edwards still with it. Edwards beats the first double team, but then help arriving in the form of Ryan Olin. Edwards finally taken down, but not before a couple teammates can come in and help. This all in the final minute of the first period, and under 10 to go in Orangeville's shot clock. Matthews off the bench, gets one in as Harwood makes the save. Both teams have 2 timeouts here, can use only 1 per period. Whitby not electing to do so, and it's probably going to cost them possession here, or they just get it in time before the 8 count. I'm not sure how far we were. But 28.9 left. And the 8 count will reset as the timeout is called here by Whitby, who own a 4-1 lead with under 30 to play here in the first period. They're saying 23 on the shot clock, which means 7 seconds gone in that 8 count for Whitby. Goaltender Harwood remains in the net as we come away from the benches here for perhaps the final play. The shot clock reset inadvertently there as it was down to 23. So they'll have an extra 5 on the clock. Will Whitby as they work it around the horn. Up top for Budway. Shot comes from the near side of Jack Oldman, chasing it down, and a big collision there. With no call, 4 seconds picked up here by Edwards. Fakes the pass. He's going to go for a run, and no time for him to do anything with it. We're at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Where else would we be here on the JVI Sports Network? In the Futures Division of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. It's Whitby leading Orangeville 4-1 as the second period comes your way next on the JVI Sports Network. Ontario Junior Lacrosse League broadcasts are brought to you by the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. Hashtag Milk Up. Our thanks to the Dairy Farmers for allowing us to bring you these games as well. As another weekend on the slate, starting with the Futures here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. 4-1 Whitby after the first period. And you want to see young legs run, it's going to happen here as we get you set for period number 2. Teams have switched sides. As Orangeville will now go right to left. Whitby obviously left to right. A little bit of top to bottom right here as they fight for this loose ball off the face-off. Ben Cromer got there first, but then lost it to John Wheeler. As now Whitby with first possession set up. Jake Darlison. His shot hung on to by Caleb Martin. As Orangeville wheels around. Sam Parent playing for Cole Teeple. Gabriel Soroketti now to the far side for Whitby. Big pick there. They work back for Soroketti. And a huge screen from Ryan Lang will send him to the box. Langill. So power play chance early in the second period here for Orangeville. As they try and set up here. Loose ball down in the corner. And 4, now 5 Orangeville players collide in on it. And held against the body, I think, was the call there. Against Colin McKinnon. Far side, Ty Taylor faked a high shot. Collides with Nathan Scholes. Ball lost, and Tyler Van Wart will pick up for Braden Kruger now. In on the crease. And a jumping shot from Liam Matthews. Gets Orangeville back on the board. Breakout here for Kruger, and then off the bench. I wonder how much a decoy that man on the crease played. There for Orangeville, as Liam Matthews mostly untouched on his way through to the crease. But regardless, 4-2 as the Warriors lead the Northmen. 2.5 minutes into our second period. Diavo. Spinning back here is Julian Marquise. Bolton Jennings. This shot wide of the mark from Whitby. Ends up out of play. As Van Wart will restart again. 2-goal deficit here for Orangeville. Sam Parent. Back for Cody Coulson. Was trying to feed his man in the corner, and now loose ball trying to dig it out. They did get a reset, so Whitby must have picked it up. In there with Ryan Olin. And falling through the crease was Trey Deere. And Callum McLeod will cross center. Behind him for Darlison. On to the crease, and Anderson's shot. Wants to hit the foot there of Martin. Darlison up top again. He works to his left. Now Anderson shoots around a screen and beats Caleb Martin. Michael Anderson, the answer to the early Orangeville goal. As this was all up top the entire time until that. Shot from Michael Anderson. Big rip and perfectly placed from number 3 for the Warriors, and it's 5-2 in favor of Whitby. Big hit coming here as they battle for the face-off. Cohen Jennings able to hang on despite a double team. Yabo from Deere. He goes into the corner, Marquise. As now racing in on the far side, ducking under a check was John Wheeler. Shot from Soroketti. Resets the 30. Down in transition on the breakaway. The second goal of the game for Marquise. Orangeville now with 3. They saved the rebound and the transition all alone. Quick shot. And there's your answer. Playing back here for Parent. And whistles. I think the Whitby player getting a penalty, and it will be a high stick against Owen Tapper. Comes a shot in on the goaltender as Trey Deer will grab it from Marquise. They continue to pass here on the right side of the floor. That's where the shot comes from. And Harwood will make that save. Sidestep by Callum McLeod right at the face-off circle. As Whitby will slow it right down with 1 minute and 5 seconds left on their penalty. Now with 6 on the clock, they were trying to work it towards the net, but nothing there. Played back for Chiapara. Chiapara for Diabo. And Marquise. Marquise sitting on a pair of goals. Plays back for Deer. Under 10 on the clock now. Deer, first time the lefties have touched it. As a shot from comes from Cohen Jennings, excuse me. Shot clock will expire against Orangeville. And now Whitby can take it down all the way with the penalty clock and shot clock exactly the same at 16 seconds. Chop played back for Budway. He gets tied up in the corner, but the penalty has expired. And we'll go back to 5-on-5 lacrosse with 6 minutes and 50 seconds left here in the second, where Whitby leads 5-3. 4-1 after that first period. So Orangeville trying to make a comeback. Very similar to those games that the junior Northmen play. Just tight enough, not allowing their opponent to get that far out in front, although this morning only 4 goals against for Orangeville as they defeat Mimico 12-4. Played back up top. This one a skip pass from Soroketti. Think about the Whitby Warriors. They're much the same. Always seem to have a high-tempo, high-powered offense. Part of the reason why they'll be in the semifinals of the junior tournament coming up tomorrow. 3-5 before our coverage switches back to futures action. 2 games at 7 and 9 here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center after those 2 semifinal matches. High stepping out of the corner, now behind the back from Jake Darlison. As Whitby's late in their shot clock, and it will expire with 5 minutes left here in the period. Nick Baffia back for Diabo. And now Marquise. Around the top, Cody Coulson for Diabo again. Diabo shoots through a crowd, and that hit the face mask of Ben Cromer before it rolled back into the Whitby crease. Callum McLeod bringing it up. Being an eye on Cromer here, and takes its spot in the bench with a couple fist bumps as Caleb Martin makes a save back the other way for Orangeville. Nice rebound. Dug out of the corner for McKinnon. Pick there from Sam Parent. Marquise was trying to turn it into a pick and roll, and it ends up Aaron in the crease of Harwood. Back for Tapper. Shot there and the save from Martin as trying to spring Deer the other way for a breakaway. Marquise already getting one in this period as Diabo. His low shot from the near side. He'll corral his own rebound, but shot clock winding down. Deer shoots right at the siren, and the signal is there for a goal. So be a good one on replay. I hope we get the shot clock in frame, but a 1-goal game with 3 left. Now as the initial shot goes wide, played right back for Trey Deer. Still time, and that is a good goal. That's about as close as you can get. That's in, and then the foot comes down, and then the shot clock goes. A lot to look at there, but 5-4 here for Whitby as Orangeville has almost come all the way back. As they were trying with Jaden Chiapara there, and he just hit the crossbar. Here's Darlison from the corner. Way up for Anderson. Soroketti chases this down. Our defense on him from Graydon Stokes. Now behind the net is Soroketti, and he just lets the shot clock expire. Played back by Kruger. Two minutes to go in the period. Marquise. Save made. The Orangeville player goes down as there was a big hit, and then another one, possibly up high on Parent, and then even bigger on Marquise. Bodies starting to fly everywhere here in this game. Parent worked around a screen, but it was too much as then Trey Deer got knocked down. As Whitby just beating the 8 count as Zach Pfeiffer up and over center. Here's Soroketti. Beating through the middle, looking off a couple attackers. Shot comes from Oldman. Back for Van Wart. He crosses center in the final minute here, the second period. Came in Diabo. Inside the line, Deer will drag it towards the crease. And then his pass out of harm's way. Ryan Olin. He'll clear center. And waits for stream coming off that Whitby bench. Oldman. Outside for Anderson. He was stalking from the outside. And it's played back for Jack Budway. Spins off pressure. And this half pass, half shot goes high over top of the net. And with 12.3 seconds left, the first time out of the game will be taken by Orangeville, who have come almost all the way back here in this second period trailing 4-1 after one. A 3-1 period here for the Northmen. Our crew was in the house for the previous game here on this floor between the Toronto Beaches and Peterborough Lakers. We got some free soccer this morning, got some free lacrosse this afternoon. Might we be headed here? Same thing. Still a full period left to go. And of course the timeout play from the coaching staff of Orangeville, which will be with a sixth attacker. And only 10 seconds with which to do it. Marquise for Coulson. They'll switch spots now. Marquise, far side. Deer looking to refeed Coulson in the middle, and time will expire. But a big period there for Orangeville. Has them on top. Within one. Whitby still on top, 5-4. A pair of goals to start our third and final period here. Third scheduled period. Give them the lead and the go-ahead marker. We apologize for the late start here. But it is 6-5 for Orangeville over Whitby, as they have indeed come all the way back. Shot clock violation against Whitby, and I believe we're going to get a penalty for a delay of game coming up here. 12:23 remaining. And apologize for having some technical issues up here with our control room, but I believe it's all sorted out. Those of you that were looking for Oakville Six Nations, that seems to be up, back, and running and in fine condition if you flipped over. Again, that's on the second JVI channel. We're 6-5 here, Orangeville on top of Whitby, and they've come all the way back. Looking for another one here is Orangeville on the power play. Bounce pass intended for Marquise will skip up and into that Warrior bench. As it's Darlison faking it with, Little John. Little John sitting on a pair of goals. Been that way since the first period. Back-to-back goals for Oakville. They credit Liam Matthews and then Carter Moran with what was the 5th and tying marker, and then the go-ahead 6th. So we'll give Liam Matthews a pair in the game now. Again, if anybody switched over from that Oakville Six Nations game, did have a slight technical issue, but the feed is now back running and it's clear. And it appears to be 8-3 Oakville on top of Six Nations. That's over on the second JVI channel. You'll find the video linked in the playlist on this main channel. Here's Soroketti. Shot there, Martin will make the save. And hand the ball off to Elijah Edwards. Julian Marquise. Back for Deere, Marquise gets the shot, and old Marquise there. Waiting for a rebound that never developed is Harwood. hung on. Meanwhile, Jack Budway looked skyward. He was all alone in behind everyone from Orangeville, and no outlet pass to be had. Budway for Soroketti. Now to the outside for Anderson. Back for Budway. To the stick of Littlejohn. Pardon me, that's Darlison who shoots wide of the cage and goes up and out of play. Carter Moran will start it. Now back to the right side. Dropping the shoulder in his parent. Back for Coulson up top. Defender had fallen there for Whitby, as here's a quick shot. Coming from Moran. Steady dose of him now in the third period. Diving through and into Caleb Martin was the Whitby shooter, Ryan Olin. As we've played almost 6 minutes here in our third period, a diving attempt and a goal there for Orangeville, who continue to roll after coming out of the gate a little bit slow in that first period. Now the OJ rule is your feet have to stay out until the ball crosses the line. It's just so difficult for the officials to call and see, especially one on the far side, but I think the mesh is moving there. And I think that is a good call as a face-off violation. On the side of Whitby, hands it back to Orangeville, who leads 7-5. We're down 4-1 at one point. 6-1 thereafter for the Orangeville Northmen, as Harwood makes a save. Stick and a glove down on the floor. I think from two separate players. As Oldman will shoot, and it trickles through the back of Martin. So after a lengthy period of time without scoring, Whitby is back on the board. High screen here, and then a big rebound that goes straight to Budway. And in the back of the net to give us a 7-6 scoreline here with 8.5 left to play in the third period. This time it's going to be a clean win for Oldman. Quickly gets it to Michael Anderson. Whitby putting a stop to that Orangeville run. Now trying to get the equalizer again. Oldman dumping it towards the cage. Must have caught a piece of Martin as they reset the shot clock. Soroketti in to try and clear some space for the ball carrier. Anderson, who was tripped up on his way out of the corner. Littlejohn, fresh third. He is spinning and firing there. Is Jack Oldman. And Caleb Martin making the save as we pass the halfway mark of the third period here in a one-goal game. Long-range shot. Harwood not sure where it was. It was picked up in the crease by Orangeville, and they'll get one back now. We'll go back and forth here in the third period. This time it is the Northmen. Initial shot, Harwood not sure where it is, and picking it out, gaining possession, and then putting it in the back of the net. That's just a beautiful use of the NLL style crease roll that has been implemented by the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League this year. 8-6 Orangeville. Picked up by Soroketti, who spins off a check. Excuse me, it's John Wheeler who now turns and heads for the bench. As this is Soroketti up top. All the way out to the boards. Now in for Ty Taylor, whose shot is saved by Martin. Rebound drops in front of Elijah Edwards. And he runs it back here for Orangeville. Slamming on the brakes and spinning back Liam Matthews. Back to the outside. Partial screen there and allowing Marquise to come through. He gets drilled and knocked down. Ball is headed back the other way on a 2-on-1. Here's Max McPherson and the save made by Martin. Pushed back into him though by Gage Noseworthy. As meanwhile, back the other way, Bolton Marquise had got up and went back to the bench. As Whitby here is halfway through their shot clock. Hard launch from Anderson. Martin steps up to meet. And now, Cayman Diabo fakes the pass over top of Josh Davenport. Diabo cutting back, trying to get free of McLeod here. Likes to go across to Deere. Deere flip behind his back. What a beautiful assist. Finding Carter Moran. As Orangeville threatening to run away with it here as we close in on the final 5 minutes of our third period. A lot of trouble on the right side. They go to the lefties. And look at that assist. It's a thing of beauty before Carter Moran finds the 5-hole and makes it 9-6 here for Orangeville. Goalies will get a water break, which will give us a chance to remind you that Burlington KW is coming up here on this floor. Scheduled for 9 p.m. local time, just after 8 o'clock right now, here on the main channel. And over on the other floor, Lance Wynn will take you through Toronto Beaches, Mimico Mountaineers. And those two games coming up at 9. Before a slate of 6 games scheduled for tomorrow. The 2 at 7 and 9 following back-to-back OJLL semifinals. It all starts at 3 o'clock tomorrow on the JVI Sports Network. Martin will corral this loose ball out of his crease. First time we're seeing Marquise back out there since taking that big hit. He'll pass his left side. Stutter step from the ball carrier. Spinning back Diabo. Late in the shot clock, Marquise unawares, and then shot was a little late and wide of the mark. That'll open it up for Whitby now, trailing by 3. Just over 4 minutes to go here in regulation time. There's Soroketti, back to the near side. Budway finding Oldman, whose shot is saved by Martin. Rebound controlled there by Elijah Edwards. It takes a couple bumps after the fact. But meanwhile, the ball up and over center by Taylor Van Wart. Now for Matthews. Spins off one man. Runs past the second. Back here for Trey Deere. And now Matthews looking for help. Bounces it far side. Sam Parent. No shot for him. So he'll pass back for Cody Coulson in his Long range shot is wide and off the end boards. John Wheeler for Ty Taylor. Make the pass up top as the change is still working to completion here for Whitby. Taylor backs into a check. Now passes for Darlison quickly. Over to the other lefty and now back to the right side for Budway. Looking to return it there for Darlison. I think he took a stick in the leg, which knocked him down as Braden Kruger picks it up and heads down the floor, where Harwood will make a save. Slowly limping his way off is Jake Darlison. As Harwood to the bench along with the defenders. Budway. Playing catch up top. Late change coming off the bench. Here it is now with 5 in the shot clock. Budway will turn and fire, looking low there on Martin. No one went to the bench, so finally Anderson realizes it, and a collision in along the glass will allow Harwood a chance to get back in, but only briefly, as shout out Teddy Jenner. The celebration afterwards. Tyler Van Wert with some words. As we take a look at the 10th goal here for Orangeville. Marquise the score. And yeah, I think Van Wert thought that was a reaction to the celly. But with 2:09 left, we've got a 10-6 game here in the third period. Looks like 11-3, now 12-3. Oakville has just scored again in the third. Over on the red side, again coming up next over there. On our second channel, Toronto Beaches and Mimico Mountaineers. In an East Division battle, Mimico dropping their first game, 12-4 against Orangeville. Beach is a heartbreaker in overtime just before this one. A 1-goal loss to Peterborough. As Peterborough goes to 2-0 on the day here in the East as they beat Whitby 11-10 in the first game of the day for both of those clubs. So an easy rest for the Peterborough Lakers, it would assume. See that the game has now gone final over on the red side. 12-3 Oakville over Six Nations. If you're just flipping over, we're 10-6 here in favor of Orangeville with 2:09 remaining in the third. And we're about to go 4-on-4 as the benches get an explanation. Just had a goal scored by Bolton Marquise, who climbed the dasher for the celebration. And Taylor Van Wert took exception when a Whitby defender got tangled up with Marquise on the way back down. And surprise, surprise, Ryan McMichael doesn't like a call. So 4-on-4 for the majority of regulation time here, 2:09. And a pair of deuces up on the board. Ball flipped there from Anderson over into the corner. for Darlison. Anderson will take the long-range shot. Darlison with the rebound after the Caleb Martin save. Budway rips one there, and that's off the post. Rebound will bypass Anderson up top. They'll wave off the over and back as it hit the post, but that takes 30 seconds off of the 4-on-4. Anderson for Budway. Back up top, they work it to the crease. Spinning shot there from Oldman. And Martin not sure where it is, so ball's on top of it and still not sure where it is. Finally drops out the back of the jersey with 1:25 left in the third. It was 4-1 Whitby after one for those of you that have just flipped over. On the heels of a huge run in the second period, followed by even more here. Pair of quick ones to start the third. Orangeville up 10-6 as we hit the final minute. And Harwood leaving the bench. Again, we saw some tiebreakers, that goal differential formula. So goals against like opponents could be a huge factor here as Caleb Martin covers up. Orangeville, Gage Noseworthy up over center. Another empty net, and Sam Parent couldn't bring it down. Otherwise, wide open cage. 5 seconds now separating the game clock and shot clock. 30's got 10 left in it. As this will be bounced all the way back up top, and it looks like the Northmen will be content just to put a win on the board, and they will also finish 2-0 here on day number one. Pair of games still to come on our coverage here on the JVI Sports Network as we hit a final score of 10-6. Orangeville over top of Whitby. Our thanks to the Dairy Farmers of Ontario and our JVI Sports Network crew, the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. It is 8:17 local time. We'll be back in 43 minutes for Burlington Chiefs, Kitchener-Waterloo here on the main channel, and Toronto Beaches Mimico Mountaineers over on the other side.